Perfect. Yeah, great.
Okay, so I start?
Yeah.
Is it time? Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Cohen. I am honored to be here today. I operate Santa Barbara Adventure Company, and I was invited by your team to come speak a little bit about my twisted and wonderful path to creating Santa Barbara Adventure Company and now running it at, among other places, the Channel Islands National Park. And so I'm just really glad to be here and just to share with about my background and how I came to start this company and now what we're up to now. So my friends are, Mia's going to help me with the slides. So again, this is about Santa Barbara Adventure Company, and we'll hit the next slide, please. And no presentation will be complete without a short video. So before you start this, Mia, the reason we made this video, this is called There's This Island, because I'm going to tell you a little bit more later, but I would go out to, I run Channel Islands kayak tours, among other things, and I would head out to parties and cocktail receptions and events, and I would talk to a lot of people, and I would realize they didn't either had never been to Santa Cruz Island, or they weren't even aware of Santa Cruz Island or any of the Channel Islands. And so it just dawned on me that, you know, so many people who live right here in our area, Santa Barbara, Ventura and Oxnard, they see these islands out there and they may not even realize what they are, or they really want to go there. So we created a 1-minute video, which we put up on all of our channels. And this is called There's This Island, because we would be at these parties and people, I'd be like, hey, you know, there's this national park and it's just 20 miles away. It's amazing. You've got to go there. So we tried to condense that speak down to a 1-minute presentation. Mia, I'll ask you to run this if you can. And we're working on sound. Do you have sound? Pick it up. And I am super proud of that video. We've, you know, it's not gone viral or anything, but it's a really good promotional piece. And I think it really encapsulates in such a short time what we're really doing. And so my business is called Santa Barbara Adventure Company. We actually have 3 brands. One is Santa Barbara Adventure, the other is Channel Islands Adventure, and then we have a 3rd brand where we do luxury wine tours under the name Santa Barbara Wine Country Tours. I've been in business for 22 years. We take about 12 to 15,000 clients each year. We do public tours, kayaking, biking, surfing, wine country tours. We also do corporate team building, which can be aerial adventure courses or ropes courses or team building programs. We also do a strong section of outdoor education programs where we take school groups from middle school all the way through college groups to 1 to 5 day adventures, many different sites. We also host quite a good few Boy Scout and Girl Scout groups. Our main tour is our main site is at the Channel Islands National Park, and we are the concession holder for Sea Cave kayaking at Scorpion Anchorage. Many of the viewers here may know Scorpion Anchorage is the most traveled place, and we're going to show you some beautiful pictures. This is actually a picture of Scorpion Anchorage, and you can see our incredible kayaking there. I really feel blessed to be out at the Channel Islands National Park. I think it's a wonderful treasure we have just offshore. I started going out there at a really young age. So let's, Mia, if you could hit the next slide for me. So I was asked to talk a little bit about my convoluted and winding path to where I am. And, you know, I grew up in Santa Barbara here, and my family is still here. And I started getting involved with the outdoors in middle school, actually. And by high school, I was really into long backpacking trips and rock climbing, and then later mountain biking. So I had a real love for adventure trips and being outdoors, but I never thought it was, you know, maybe I wasn't sure if it was going to be a career. So I went to Humboldt State University, and there I studied to be a jeweler. I had actually got a fine art degree there. And, you know, it's an example of how convoluted people's paths are. You know, I remember my mother at the time sending me an article that, you know, we're probably going to, and that was in the, you know, the 90s, right? And that we're probably going to change careers 5 or 6 times in your life. And that was real reassuring to me that, hey, you know, I might be interested in this now. Like I might be interested in jewelry design, silversmithing, but it may not be my permanent career. I'm going to follow this now because I may have 6 different careers. And so it was this love of guiding that really, that gave me focus and center. And what I realized looking back on it was a deep connection with nature, being on long wilderness trips. I started doing rafting starting in my 20s, and I worked with a really well-known company, and we would do 5-day or 6-day trips in Idaho on the Middle Fork of the Salmon, or a 4-day trip on the Rogue River. And I did that consistently week after week. And then in the fall and spring, I would do outdoor education programs, which would be taking school groups primarily to Catalina Island at Emerald Bay, which we were talking about earlier with Robin. And it's just an amazing place. It's really, even though you're right off the shore of Los Angeles by 30 miles or so, you actually are a complete world apart. You are in a wilderness setting, yet you can see the lights of LA. So at that time, I was wondering what I was going to do and kind of traveling around, living. I was living seasonally. So I would spend the summer rafting in Idaho, and the fall doing outdoor education on Catalina Island. And then the winter, I would go, a couple of times I went to the Caribbean and did diving work, or I went to Belize one winter and did long kayak trips there, self-support kayak trips on the Belizean Keys. So that was really a beautiful lifestyle. And I did that through my 20s and just had the greatest time. And it was this deep love of being outside and being kind of, when I would come back to LA from Catalina Island, it would kind of freak me out because I'd be like right there in the middle of Los Angeles, rush hour traffic, at a complete contrast to this beautiful island environment. That's, you know, I think all of us, any viewer can just identify that when you're on the beach, when you're on the river, when you're on the water or in the mountains, you just have a calm and a love of where you are. And even though it's hard, you feel very fulfilled, you know? So at least that was for me. So I was able to live that lifestyle for a while, but then I said, you know what? I need to build something a little bigger because I wanted to maybe have a family or set down roots. I was living in my pickup truck, like me and Jewel, you know, I was like living in my vehicle, living at camps, and that just kind of got old for a while, but I did that for quite a few years, 8 or 9 years. And then I would always come back to Santa Barbara. And I really just loved Santa Barbara so much because my family was from there. And I had spent my days running in the creeks and in the ocean and surfing and swimming. And so and climbing here, all those things. So I started my company, Santa Barbara Adventure Company, and my whole goal was to connect my guests with the beautiful environment we have just around here. Every time I came back from Idaho or Oregon or even Belize or anywhere else, I was always so impressed at how beautiful we are, how beautiful it is here, and how fortunate we are to live here on this South Coast, Santa Barbara, Ventura, all those areas, and then the Channel Islands as well. I mean, that's just really gorgeous. So I started my own company. I ran everything myself. I was the chief, lunch maker, bottle washer, and kayak loader. I would tell myself, what does a rafting company have? Well, they have a fax machine. So I'd go get a fax machine, and then, all right, well, you're going to need a computer. So I had to teach myself how to use a computer. And we're going to need a website. And so we just went through that and built that up over time. I did it all myself. And I would run my tours and try to book the next tour. So I'd set up my group at lunch. We at Refugio State Beach, and I would be in this little beautiful cove, and we'd set up lunch and would have, really nice foods. And then I'd go around the corner. I go, you guys enjoy your lunch. And I'd go around the corner with my special dry case, and I had my cell phone. It was like when cell phones were just coming out. I'd get on the phone and catch the next tour for the next day. And that's how enthusiastic I was to build the business. And it was very small. And I leveraged it up from these humble beginnings. And what I really found was that if you can surround yourself with incredibly talented people, then you really have the synergy to create something amazing. So, from those humble beginnings, we now have over 50 staff, and we service, well over 12,000 people a year. So we're pretty busy. And it is this team that I have that is really making it super powerful. In my office, I have 5 managers, 5 managers and 10 full-time office staff. And then we have about 40 guides in the summer. I still enjoy being outside. I surf every day. The swell is good. Here you are, coming to you live from my surfboard storage area. And I just love being in the water. I still get my breath taken away when I see dolphins and whales. I go paddling with my kids all the time. And so I'm very much connected to nature. Okay, next slide, man. And so we made it, from these humble beginnings, we made it 20 years. So we made this little video. This is celebrating our 20th anniversary. And that's kind of like a fast, jump to now. We're actually in our 23rd year right now. And so we put this little video together. And Mia, if you want to check your sound here, and let's see if we can watch this.
I grew up in Santa Barbara, and my family's still here. And it's just such an incredibly beautiful place that it's magnetic. The people, when they come here, they are just shocked by how beautiful it is in all 360 degrees. I started my business out of my pickup truck with 3 credit cards and 4 kayaks. And so to see it grow 20 years later, I feel like I have one of the greatest jobs in the world. And our job really is to connect people to nature. I guess the thing I love most about working for Santa Barbara Adventure Company would be the people that I get to work with. These are some of the most intelligent, passionate, caring people that I've ever met. And we all get to share this beautiful background, this beautiful setting, taking people from all walks of life out here to enjoy the beautiful scenery that we have out here.
company culture here is one of the best parts about working at Santa Barbara Adventure Company. We're spontaneous, we're fast-paced, we're fun-loving, we're eco-friendly, and we're just one huge family.
What really is the foundation of this business, of our ability to take people out into the wilderness, to introduce them to this area, is our incredible guides. And the passion that they have for what they're doing it's truly remarkable.
I love connecting guests with the Channel Islands National Park and just really being able to push guests outside of their comfort zone and try something new and try something different and have an awesome time.
I feel blessed every day to be able to host our guests in this beautiful area of Santa Barbara and the Channel Islands National Park.
Wow, that is a great video, I have to say. I mean, what more can I say? I'm done. No, I'm joking. We're just so proud of that. And the reason it is so compelling is because of what we are doing. I think we really are, my guides are incredible people who are very talented, and they come from all different walks of life. And that was a message I wanted to convey to any listener, that you just don't know where your path or interest is going to take you. And you might try to follow your heart. I've had soul crushing jobs before. I've had many different jobs, and the soul crushing jobs, looking back, I was really glad when I walked on them. And at the time I was afraid of that. I didn't know if I would make the right path. And look, now I see this product. I'm just so proud that I did not become a full-time mental health assistant at a, facility for people. There was some crazy stuff. Anyways, the reason why we are so successful is because of what we're doing. We're taking people to the most beautiful places, in my opinion, in the world. I think our Channel Islands National Park, I think the paddling there is on par with other great places in the world. I think our sea cave kayaking is amazing. And I really do call it world class. And I've talked to a lot of other paddlers who've come from, they've been to the greatest spots in the world, such as New Zealand or the San Juan Islands or some other places that are truly remarkable. And I think that our paddling is on par with them. And they've told me this place is just as beautiful. So it's easy for my staff to really get behind our mission, because our mission is connecting people with this wildlife that you see here. I mean, you have a bat ray and a beautiful island fox. That's an endemic species found only at Santa Cruz Island and the national park. And then, obviously our there's something called the megapod of dolphin in the middle of the channel that we cross through on the boat, and they're swimming and jumping. And I mean, literally there's a migratory pod of killer whales that come through off of Palos Verdes, and they move up through the Santa Barbara Channel. That's really not known. People do not understand that we have our own homegrown pod of killer whales out there. And when people see that, they freak out. I mean, they're like, their breath is taken away. I can't believe I'm this close to killer whales. This shot was taken on one of our trips from the Island Packers boat, which, we love Island Packers. We work with them closely. And I think their mission is very much aligned with ours, which is taking people and connecting them with nature. I'll also add that we're connecting people together. We're creating community by creating experiences where family and friends can bond and have a lifetime of experience that they'll remember. I know in this last COVID time, and anybody, can nod their head in agreement here, I can't tell what day it was, nor what Netflix show I watched. I mean, I was like, I don't even know if I existed for the last year, but the times I get out and I go paddle with my son in even at the Santa Barbara Harbor, that time I have a picture, I remember that, and I can think back at that time and go, God, I did something with my life that day, So I think that, really what we're selling, what our product is, what we're doing is connecting people with nature and community. My son and I, when we go paddle, we have a great bond that we, really can fall back on, both my sons. And anyways, so it's easy because we're passionate about what we're doing. And Mia will try the next slide here. Our main trip as at Scorpion Anchorage, we have a concession with the Channel Islands National Park. We are the sole concessionaire there for kayaking services and snorkeling. So the reason why they did create a concession there is because the continued traffic and interest of people going there. And it's also, it can be technically difficult. Not a lot of people can get boats out there and also get themselves in and out of sea caves safely. At Scorpion Anchorage, there's incredible 12 sea caves right within our bay. And so it's a world-class tour that people really absolutely love, and their mind is blown. I think that we've seen some of the photos and pictures of people going into sea caves, and if the conditions are safe, again, it has to be safe, right? And so that's why the guide service is really great, because people don't want to get beat up in sea caves. And we can even look in there and go, hey, this is a good time to do this, or, this is not a good time to do this. Let's go to another area. So that people really value that. And also it's really nice to we have all the gear, we have everything they need, paddle jackets, life jackets, and we are able to take care of them so they're nice and comfortable. We say, you just book the trip and we'll take care of everything else. So your kayak, your life jacket, your paddle jacket, the whole bit. And that really has shown through in our reviews. People really like that we're full service. And it even goes back to this incredible staff I'm talking about. They love it. They really do believe in what we're doing, to the point that when the office reservationists, our office managers, are on the phone, they're telling people about this trip, and like the level of excitement in their voice as they're talking about it. The person on the other line, in this day, you don't even get a person on the phone, first of all. And then here's someone who's truly enthusiastic, so much like Hannah, who's in our office. She goes out there all the time. She guides out there. And so when she's back in the office, she's like, yesterday I saw killer whales and a pod of dolphins. The people on the phone are freaking out, like, oh my God, I gotta make it out there. So I think we're really passionate about that. Scorpion Anchorage is our main trip. These are some amazing photos. Let's see what's next here, Mia. Oh yeah, we also do the Painted Cave trip out at the west end of Santa Cruz Island. So everybody get your Santa Cruz map out in your mind right now. If you're looking offshore, the west is to the right, and on that right side of Santa Cruz Island before Santa Rosa is the Painted Cave. And these are some photos of this Painted Cave tour. What we do is we go out with the boat out of the Santa Barbara Harbor. We launch right off the back of the boat after full instruction, and then we cruise along the western end of the island. And so we're on that coastline, but it's out on Santa Cruz Island. So you're seeing this procession of wildlife is coming through, seabirds and endemics. And, then they're talking about kelp forest, and they're talking about marine ecology and geology. The geology is just amazing in here. And then we're going into these little sea caves, and then we culminate with this huge sea cave called Painted Cave. Anybody here nod if you've seen that? I mean, it's an amazing, it's called Painted Cave because of the lichens and the color of the mosses and lichens that are coming down. And these pictures actually do not do it justice, but we go back into this cave, which is, it's like the second longest sea cave in the world, several hundred yards back. And we go way, way back. And this is a shot in the middle here where they're coming back out, and you can see this light. And so it's a phenomenal trip. It's a world-class trip. We'll be running that this summer with Condor Express. Condor Express, Santa Barbara Harbor, and that's the fastest boat in the harbor as well. So we're super excited about that. The Painted Cave trip, I think, is a world-class kayak tour, and we actually developed that. There was a few people who were doing it. We took it and made it a really popular trip, and we've been doing it for over 10 years now. So it's really been great. And, the wildlife, just like, and then you're going back and then, oh, here's some whales. Like, oh God, now we got to stop and watch these whales. I can't even get home, without running into all this marine. Oh, and then on the boat, they're giving you hot food. You're having like beautiful hot food made by the crew. And maybe you bring a couple of drinks of your own and you're just enjoying this ride back. And then they run into more whales and dolphins. So it really is an amazing trip. But I'm obviously biased. So let's take a look at the next slide. I think this is a team building shot. We do corporate team building and outdoor education programs as well. And this is actually some kids who are going through a challenge course that we created, and they have to work together at the middle school level. Super fun. I had done that kind of work in my outdoor education career. And again, to any viewer who's thinking about what they want to do, like I did not know what I wanted to do when I was 22 years old. I just knew that I had interests and I wanted to stay out of cities. I wanted to be outside. And that led me to outdoor education programs where I learned so much about how to teach people and how to connect people, young people, with nature. And that led to team building, which is even more, that's that community part where now we're in this beautiful setting. That looks like, again, Refugio State Beach. And they're, they have to work together as a team. And yeah, it might be hokey, but the truth is it's fun. And they're having a lot of laughs and they're getting to know each other, and then they're friends. And so we've built communities. Like, that's what we need more of in this time. Let's see what the next slide is, Maria. I think we lost some text here, but that's okay. Taking a step further, I think this was supposed to be a wine country tour photo. I think Kim's slide may have gotten, anyways, the slide here is that we are doing wine country tours, and we go out to Santa Ynez. Since the beginning, I took people out. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is it. Oh, great. Perfect. Thanks, Mia. That was really fast. Yeah, so we're trying to go the step further, and we are including in all of our tours, we're not just saying, hey, look at this nature. We're actually trying to connect people by educating them. So our guides are naturalists. I mean, they're like, for fun, they will like go birding, and they're like bird geeks or they're plant geeks. And I just love it so much or they're photographers or marine biologists, as scientists, and people who have marine biology background are coming to us. So it's really great. We try to talk about sustainability. We really are focused on climate change and talking about how we're going to change in the future. We have that, embedded within our culture, and we want to make a difference. I mean, we switched over to no plastic bottles, no disposable bottles, I don't even know how many years ago, almost 10 years ago now. And so we have saved thousands and thousands of plastic bottles because we wash them. We have a, heavy duty washing machine that washes them and is clean. We have boxes, and we, with water bottles for everyone on our tours, and we actually make it an educational component. We say, hey, we're trying to reduce our footprint by not passing out tons and tons of plastic water bottles. We've all done that where we've taken a sip and, just chucked that water bottle. So that was just one of our challenges. Or we have a water bottle recycle program, where we're really bleaching them, cleaning them, and then we can loan them out. If somebody needs one, then they can give it back to us. But, we have to be conscious of people's concerns. Excuse me. So we're trying to make a difference. This is a beautiful picture of our Santa Barbara wine country tours. That's a lot of people learning about the land and drinking wine and maybe drinking too much wine, having a great time. We also do wine country by bike, where they're riding from winery to winery, usually on Ballard Canyon, and we try not to let them get drunk. That's a really important factor. We just do a little bit of tasting, and then we say taste after the tour, because sometimes people drink a little too much, too hot, and they have a tough time on the bikes. We want it to be enjoyable for them. But at its core, I think what I'm trying to say is we have an educational ethic and an environmental ethic that we're trying to continue to put forth to our guests. Next slide, please. Well, let's see, go back. Is this the one we want? Where are we?
Sorry, we're right here.
Okay, perfect. One big family. I talked about this a lot. This is just a picture of our many staff over the years. There's Kim there. Kim, I see you. I know you're watching. Some incredible people have come through. I'm really blessed, and I'm excited to say they stay for quite a while. We can't keep them all, and oftentimes it's a stepping stone for them on their career. But the truth is, we have a really solid team that is stuck with us. I got a couple guys who've been around for over 10 years. Our management team, I can't say enough about the management team in that office. Kim and Christy and Brittany and also Christine out at the island. I just think they're the most talented individuals. We actually have a all women management team right now. And then I am the advisor only to Kim. We work closely together, but I just feel really blessed to have our staff. And I'd encourage any viewer, if they're interested in this type of work or just think they might be interested in it, to look at our website. We're hiring, and we put a call out. It's a great summer gig, or maybe when you're graduating college, you don't know what you're going to do. I've had a lot of people in that place. So that's my plug. Come see us, check us out online. And I think what's really we're trying to convey is that we have a really healthy culture of young people who are really connected with nature and fun. I mean, it's really great. If you look at a really diverse group of people. Next slide, please. So we're connecting people with our land, with nature, as I've been saying before, and with community. We do that through a lot of trip planning. We take people to the Channel Islands, which can be logistically intense, with ferries and campsites and food and gear, and there's no services there. Or same thing with school groups. We try to use appropriate messaging when we're talking to people. We have a really in-depth website, and we talk to people about, I'm on the National Marine Sanctuary Advisory Council. And so we try to talk about marine protected areas and national park rules, and also we help protect those resources. For us, it's really important that people aren't trotting all over our beloved islands. So we really do try to educate them. We are part of this Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary. I work on their marketing initiatives, such as Get Into Your Sanctuary. They have a Nautilus program. And we have joined into different things like the National Park Centennial Program. We also do many familiarization trips, which are called fam tours, for lots and lots of people, for media. We've been in media all these years. I'm so proud to have been in Outside Magazine, Men's Health, Sunset, National Geographic, and many, many more. In fact, we stopped keeping track of it because we were in so many. Recently, we'll take the next slide, please, Mia. I think recently we just got elected. This is a pretty big one for us, in the top 10 kayak companies in the nation by USA Today. So for us, we were, just out of the blue, they selected us on a competition for best kayak companies in the nation. And it was a PR stunt by them, but we got selected. So we were very pleased on that. But we are really encouraging others to get involved. So we do volunteer trips. We do that for school groups. This picture right here is one of my favorites. We've organized many island cleanups where we work with island packers and bring our staff or island packer staff or other national park people out, sanctuary people out to the islands, and we take debris off of the islands. This is at Santa Cruz Island on the south side I can't remember where this is. Yellow Banks. And these guys, that's Adam and Rye, and they have got a huge pile of lobster traps, and they've taken them and put them on that kayak, and they're going to kayak it. That's what they're doing. I mean, that's how much they love it. These guys spent their day volunteering with me and many others to just go out and scour garbage. And we would get, on that trip, we got over almost a ton of garbage and many, many of these traps. So we try to sponsor a lot of things. We give to schools and a lot a lot of nonprofits. During our 20th year, we did a 20 years of giving back. And then we also try to keep a really strong company culture by doing team building programs and employee trips. And then we really are focusing on promoting ourselves through these different social media platforms that you all are aware of. And then again, we're trying to donate to so many different organizations. So if you have an organization, hit me up. We'd love to help you there. Next slide, please. That was it. Thank you. And I will just close by saying I took a couple of different notes. I wanted to let everyone know that there's just so many different options out there in the world. And again, as I told you, I studied to be a jeweler and did not expect to be an outfitter. I do love my job and am so happy to be in this career, and I will not change. I'm going to keep doing this until I retire, or hopefully get my sons into the business with me, and then I can hand it off to them, or until my body can't do it anymore. I'm starting to break down, so I can't do the physical stuff as much as I used to. But I want the viewers to know that have heart and follow your interests. And, you know, you'll talk to very many interesting people that have winding paths that they may have started in one field and ended up somewhere else. And it's really to be true to yourself, and don't stick in jobs or careers that are soul crushing. You know, life is far too short, as we've seen through this last COVID crunch. We need to be trying to follow our dreams. And I don't want to lecture. I just want to say that in this new time, there is so much opportunity. If I had it over again, I would do the same, but I would do it differently and use all of the new technology. I would use things differently to build my business. And I might not do the exact same type of tour, but I think there's so many opportunities that are just coming up in startups. And I really am excited about the green new wave. I think that there's going to be a lot of great businesses and entrepreneurial opportunities for either jobs or starting businesses around remediation of our global climate crisis, which I'm worried about. I want this audience to know I'm really worried about that. And we have to change our direction, or I won't be able to take people to the Channel Islands National Park. I am on this NOAA Sanctuary Advisory Council, and I've seen many I've seen many scientists come and do presentations about the effects of global climate crisis and the different modeling. And it's very scary unless we turn it around, and we can do it, because I think you see places like this and we know we have to protect it. So that's my speech. I've been going on for quite a while. Thank you for listening to me. I will take questions if there's any questions out there from my 4 audience. All three of you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Michael. And we're going to reach a lot more folks adding this to our library. And I think your words are they're very appropriate for the time, for any time, and for this time in general too, and for our, students and such, to see how people, wind up in different paths and really following your passions. It's something that's very important to us. I was going to ask during the talk about the picture of the killer whales, whether that was from a kayak, or whether that was from Island Packers boat or a kayak. I'm glad you said, you said it was from Island Packers. I thought if it was from the kayak, you might have a little more budget on the cleanup crew for that particular trip. But I was going to ask about a couple of things. One you mentioned, which was the sort of kind of lessons learned of going through this and seeing the arc in 20 years. You talked about how you might have done some things differently, or just sort of maybe in an operational or business sense, what you may have done different, or what you see as some of the big changes going forward. That's one question. And one other question relates to this incredible opportunity at Scorpion, where you have all these sea caves, but it's also a very high use area for the park, and it can reach its maximums. And how does that work within your business model with the capacities and the density there?
Yeah, those are 2 great questions. What the big changes I see coming are around around global climate crisis. So the weather is going to continue to be more difficult. We've just had a really windy last couple of weeks, and the models all project that wind, along with heat and all the other factors, are going to increase over time. And so that will make a shifting of this business model is very much peaks in May all the way through into September, and then that's your whole season. So, I'm going to have to adapt to that because of this changes in climate crisis. It's going to be times when it's going to be too hot to go, or fire season will be a reality. Fire season in the fall has become a reality. Drought will affect people's decisions to travel. COVID, as a small example, or not as a large example, COVID decimated the tourism industry for this last year. And it's not going to come back to its pre-19 levels. It's going to take several years to do that. And that was sort of a soft rollout of a catastrophe. But we've seen here locally, with the mudslides and fires, how it can affect economies. And so I don't know if I would create a business that's so dependent on weather. That's part of the reason why we're doing wine country tours, because you can go drink wine in San Ynez Valley if it's raining outside or if it's windy. And then big changes I want to do. I want to walk my talk and build. I want my fleet of vehicles. We have 4, 5 vans, a bunch of support vehicles. I want them all to be electric. I'm actually going to buy my first electric vehicle. I'm going to get a used Chevy Bolt and turn it into a kayak vehicle, just to show the world that I can have an outfitter vehicle. They're used now, they're really cheap, and I want to make this kind of mini monster truck where I'm driving to Refugio and to the harbor on all electric. I think that could really happen soon. I mean, I want one of those cyber trucks, but I don't see a cyber truck coming anytime soon. It's going to be
The Bolt is a great car. I had one and used the kayaks and paddleboards on the roof rack too. So
yeah, I mean, I'm like, let's just make one. I can't sit around and wait. Or our wine country tours, we use Ford 15-passenger vans, which are beautiful, but they are now talking about they're going to have electric ones. So I will, as soon as those are available, I will rotate my fleet and get those and put that investment in, just so I can really try to reduce our carbon footprint, and B, show the rest of the world that I can operate and still provide jobs, and everyone can have fun, and we can do it without, with no gas. I want to say got no gas or no gas needed on the back, And then,
And what about the density issue at Scorpion?
Oh, density. Yeah. I mean, right. Well, so right now, what's going to happen with this wave of there's a tidal wave of tourism that's coming because of the demand with COVID, and people again have lost a year of their life and they want to get together and they want to go outside. It's great for people like me. I'm going to be flooded with guests, and we're actually going to be at capacity issues. But by Island Packers charter boat availability and the carrying capacity at Scorpion, we are limited. So we will not go past those limits, and it's a certain amount of people per day. So the national park has already created caps for us, and we're very strict about following those. So we would not be able to, you can't love a place to death. It's also going to make it more competitive. People aren't going to be able to get their spot on the Saturday they want to go. They're going to have to push it farther down, or if they're last minute, it's going to be harder for them to get their trip. So we might redirect them to something on the coast that they can do with us instead of going to Channel Islands. But what's great about my tours is usually once we're on the water, we don't see anyone else. So we kind of get this experience. You come on the Island Packers boat, it's very full. They have their carrying capacity. Then you break out into your kayak tour and you end up with a group of 8. And then that's your group that's kind of far away from everyone else. So it creates this very unique wilderness experience, even with other people around. But Russell, you're right. I've traveled to other places in Europe, and I have seen over tourism, and it sucks. I mean, it really does. And we have to be careful about that, because you can't you can't trod on your place so much that it becomes ruined. And people will do that for the mighty dollar, So you have to hold back. luckily the park has those carrying capacities. So there can't be more than about 200 people on Scorpion per day. That's such a big place. If you spread that out, it's really very easy to have an intimate experience with just your group.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
I have a question for you, Michael. Thanks so much for all the information and the amazing photos and videos. It's just like, oh, making me miss my island times. I'm curious about any feedback you've had from your guides now that, Scorpion's back open.
yeah.
How the new pier, is that a better thing for you guys? I know you typically launch off the beach, but have you had has that impacted your operations much? Because it shifted, right? The footprint of the pier shifted from where it used to be.
It hasn't impacted our operations since it's been in place. We were shut down there at Scorpion, which is the most traveled spot for over a year, which really hurt us. We did go to Prisoners and we just had smaller capacity just by the national park only gave us very small capacity. So we made it through Prisoners. Christine Claire, who's our island manager, she did a wonderful job and saw us through Prisoners for over a year. The park, of course, and the construction people ran over, and there's been problems, but now we're operating. It's helping us in that Island Packers has got a way better offloading situation when it's working. There's a giant ramp that a gangplank that lowers down, so that it's very easy for people with disabilities actually, or less abilities, can get off and get off the boat and on the island much easier. Before, people had to climb a ladder, for those of us who haven't been out there, and that could be a barrier. That could be a barrier for some people. Now, we had always hosted anyone who came to us with different special abilities. In fact, we'd taken paraplegics off the back of the boat and put them in kayaks to get them ashore. I mean, that's how far we'd go to make sure people get on. But it's also, people aren't coming with us, they're going on their own. So I want to be able to see, the granddad and the 6-year-old kid or the 5-year-old kid get off the boat and be able to spend the time there on the island, even not going with us and just hiking around and playing in the surf. So that's a real benefit that's come from this new pier, and it hasn't affected us at all. For our operation, it's only made it better for Island Packers for loading and offloading. There are still some challenges, that we're working through, but I think that in general, it's a positive, and we are so grateful. I know Kim is, if she's listening out there, we are so grateful to be back at Scorpion, because it's such a magical place. Like, we're going to throw a little appropriate party just to be like, oh my, we made it, we're back. So we're so pleased. The wind has been crushing us for the last couple of weeks. It's been really tough, but it's to be expected in spring. But yeah, I think it's a really great pier, and I'm glad it's over and that it's working, and it's going to help a lot more people get to visit our Channel Islands, which it's only 20 miles offshore. I see someone is saying their goodbye. Thank you, Aspen. And I guess if there's not any other questions, thank you all so much. This has been really great.
Thank you for showing or, sharing with us. And those pictures are amazing. I've never actually been to a lot. I've never been to the island. So it just looks so beautiful.
And I'm trying to inspire any watcher to come out and, come with us or come on your own. Let us know. Let us know if you're coming out, sbadventureco.com, or just, type us up in Google, drop us an email. We're happy to give you advice as well. You don't have to come with us. We can tell you how to do it. Island Packers is the main conduit there. We work closely with them. We're a partner with them, and they do another, please get them on your roster. They do another phenomenal job. They're naturalists as well. So as we're coming across, seeing all the marine life, they're contributing and talking all about marine ecology. So come out. My goal was to really inspire anybody here to, first of all, follow your passion, and it's a winding path to where you may go. as long as you're true to yourself. And second of all, come out and see us at Santa Cruz Island. We'd love to see you out there. So with that, I'll sign off and thank you all very much.
Thanks so much, Michael. Thank
Thanks
you,
so much,
Kim.
Michael.